Good Friday afternoon, everybody. I'm meteorologist Tim Pandajis here at our KHOU 11 studios in Houston. We're watching the weather all across southeast Texas this afternoon into the overnight for the potential of strong to severe thunderstorms developing in two rounds. One now right up through around sunset, a little bit beyond that. And the second coming with our actual cold front, a squall line developing along it that moves through in the dead of the night, right around midnight in the Houston area. Out there now, we are cloudy. We are warm, and we are very humid, especially for standards of early November. We've got dew points well into the 70s, and that's all a culprit of our onshore winds that are actually quite breezy, gusting up and over 30 miles per hour outside of any storms that have developed so far today. Here's a look at air temperatures, low to mid 80s. For comparison, average highs for early November is in the mid to upper 70s. Dew points mid-70s. This is more of what we were used to during the middle of the summer months. In August and September, we had humid, hot afternoon days. All right, there's a look at wind speeds, wind gust speeds over the last 24 hours or so. Coming in off the southeast, off the Gulf of Mexico, up and over 30 miles per hour. Now, this is down here at the surface where the winds are out of the southeast, onshore, quite strong. Up a couple thousand feet, though, the winds are a little bit stronger and coming from a different direction. That is wind shear, a change in wind speed and direction with height. We're in a high shear environment. That's why over the next couple of hours, pretty much for the remainder of our daylight hours today, we're going to keep a very close eye on what's going on radar before our actual front gets here. We're going to watch for these small, what we call discrete cells to develop, especially to the north of I-10. And as they lift north and intensify a bit with the shear that's present in the atmosphere, it makes it a little bit more easy for those cells to start rotating, and the tornadic threat is slightly higher in a higher wind shear environment. That's why off to the north here, there's actually a tornado watch as you get closer up to Dallas until 8 p.m. this evening. You can see out along the I-35 corridor, storms are already firing. And in fact, if you can see right there, that red polygon, that is a tornado warning just north of the Waco area. You can see that tornado watch spreads all the way north into Oklahoma and in northeastern Texas. Tyler area under that tornado watch until 8 o'clock this evening. Again, already firing on up along the I-35 corridor up through Dallas. Here locally, a loop over the last few hours. We've had some spotty showers and downpours. Nothing strong, nothing severe. At the moment, there are no watches and there are no warnings at the recording of this video at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. But we'll keep a close eye on what's happening here as we get later into the afternoon and early evening for what lifts to the north. Northern Harris County, Aldine area, Spring, Huffman, 69 corridor, a few isolated showers and downpours there. Not even any lightning being depicted by radar, which is good news. But there is plenty of active fuel available in the atmosphere, something we call CAPE, convective available potential energy. And when the darker oranges start showing up here, that's a lot of energy that's available for these storms to use to grow in strength and intensity, and this will be present for the next couple of hours until our front actually rolls on through. With that being said, Storm Prediction Center has placed us under a risk for severe weather for the past few days now, highlighting this afternoon into the overnight. For most of the area, it's a level 2 threat. The tiered system goes from a level 1 lowest threat to a level 5 highest threat. So we're at a level 2 in the yellow, but to the north, say Montgomery County points north of there, they are under a level 3. In fact, you can see above the banner there, they're actually upgraded to a level 4 out of 5, and that is quite rare. That time frame we're looking at is this evening into the overnight for the Houston area right around midnight. The main threats up until that front gets here, we're looking at that isolated tornado risk north of I-10 in that level 3 and 4 threat area off to the north. Outside of that, with the actual squall line coming through, damaging winds will be the main threat there. And even that threat looks greatest north of I-10. We're talking 45, maybe 55 mile per hour gusts and some of the strongest of the storms that roll on through. I'm not really concerned with street flooding because this is going to be moving so quickly through the area that most spots will pick up under an inch and will be in and out of here in a short amount of time. All right, let's talk about timing now. That front's arrival, the squall line developing along it, looks to pass through the Madisonville, College Station, Bryan area between 7 and 9 o'clock this evening. Then it takes its time getting into Harris County and Houston. 11 p.m. through around 1 a.m. that window of opportunity is there. And then it quickly races to the coastline, likely reaching there 2 to 3 in the morning, and then offshore quickly thereafter. By tomorrow morning, that's the good news with all this, it's gone. and out of here by sunup on Saturday morning, and most of the weekend is shaping up quite nicely. All right, let's go through it now on Future Track hour by hour, starting things off later on this evening at 8 p.m. You can see things are still quiet. It's not until well after sunset we start to see the activity really pick up. Here's our squall line, our main event, developing along the actual cold front. 10 o'clock this evening through College Station out to Brenham and Columbus, out to Madisonville as well. It pushes off to the southeast rather quickly. At around midnight or so, we're pushing into northern portions of Harris County, approaching downtown Houston with some gusty winds, some very heavy rain, and thunder and lightning as well. And then by 2, 3 in the morning, there it is, pushing along coastal areas. At that point in time, becoming a little more ragged in nature, likely losing some of its intensity as it pushes offshore. And then by sunup tomorrow morning, here we are at 8 a.m., skies are rapidly clearing. We're getting a northeasterly wind. It'll be cooler and much more comfortable, especially in terms of the humidity that'll be pushed and suppressed well off to the south. Rainfall totals. Remember how I said it's moving very quickly? Latest models have actually trended down a little bit in terms of those totals. Generally a half inch, maybe up to an inch, inch and a quarter in some of the heaviest of the downpours, but with it coming through so fast, it won't have time to drop a lot of rain and overwhelm drainage basins and cause any sort of street flooding. So pre-dawn storms on our Saturday. Rapid clearing. In fact, during the daylight hours, I don't think we see any unsettled weather. 75, gorgeous, with a light breeze out of the northeast and a big change in humidity. Lower dew points means it'll be much more comfortable outside. However, on Sunday, that same front that drops through tonight stalls offshore during the day on Saturday, giving us that nice day, but then it gets to move on back to the north as a warm front this time around. So temperatures on Sunday will be milder, but also with winds turning back onshore, humidity will be on the increase as well. We'll call it overall partly cloudy, and I've got about a 20% chance of an isolated shower or storm as that warm front lifts back north, and then we remain very warm and very humid through much of next week. So that's the latest on our storm threat coming our way for the next 12 hours or so. I think we'll be in the clear by the morning hours of your Saturday, so weekend plans should not be an issue, have to be canceled or anything like that. If there are any watches that are issued, of course, warnings, you could join us on the TV side. Myself and Kim Castro are going to have team weather all evening right up through the 10 o'clock show tonight to get you through this squall line as it rolls on through the area. We'll also be here with you overnight doing more digital updates on all of our digital platforms. So we'll see you again on the TV side coming up at 4, 5, 6, and 10.